Good day, everyone. Today we are going to continue with our class on production. We are going to continue our notes on production. So as another subheading, so you would continue from the last point at which you had stopped. As a subheading, economies of scale. Economies of scale is the reduction in the unit or average cost of producing and distributing a product in proportion to the increased size of the operation of the firm, full stop. It is, comma, in fact, comma, the cost-saving benefits or reduction in unit cost of production because of the scale or size of operation of the firm, full stop. In other words, comma, as the size of the output increases, the firm will then be more efficient, semicolon. It will be producing a given output using fewer factors of production, full stop. Skip a line, new paragraph. Economies of scale can be classified into internal or external economies. Skip a line. Economies of scale. You would now draw a table with two columns. Your first column's heading, the heading of your first column would be internal economies, and the heading of your second column would be external economies. So we are going under internal economies. 1. Technical economies. 2. Financial economies. 3. Managerial economies. 4. Marketing economies. 5. Buying economies. 6. risk-bearing economies. We would now move across to the second column under external economies. 1. Specialist workers. 2. Specialist training. 3. Supporting firms. 4. The good reputation. 5. Research and development. Skip a line. Some examples, colon. Some examples, colon. Next line 1. Technical economy. Dash. Zorish Sugar Company, Zorish, Z-O-R-I-S-H, Zorish Sugar Company, first harvested sugar cane by using 2,000 sugarcane cutters and harvested 20 tons of sugarcane per day. Full stop. 50 years later, comma, the company bought 2 harvesters, 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 and 5,000 tons, Tonnes, of sugar were harvested per day. Full stop. Zorish Sugar Company benefited from an increase in output because of the change in technology. Full stop. Because of the change in technology. Full stop. This is an example of technical economies. Dash. Benefits gained because of the technology. Skip a line 2. Financial economies. Dash. Imagine you are a banker, full stop. The heads of 2 different firms approach you for a loan, full stop. One is a small businessman with limited collateral, open bracket, assets for business, close bracket, semicolon. The other is the head of an expanding firm. The other is the head of an expanding firm with shareholders, comma, plant and equipment, full stop. Which businessman is more qualified for the loan? Question mark. The answer would be the CEO of the firm, CEO, all capital letters, of the firm with the business portfolio showing the firm's continuity and projected profitability. Full stop. The risk for the banker is less. Full stop. This is an example of financial economies dash financial benefits given to the firm because of its size. Okay, so skip about 2 lines as another subheading. Diseconomies of scale. Next line. Firms cannot continue to grow indefinitely and continue to enjoy economies of scale. Full stop. At some point in the expansion, the increasing cost outweighs the output. Full stop. Skip a line. Example. The expansion of a firm meant an increase in personnel. Personnel, P-E-R-S-O-N-N-E-L, full stop. Specialist staff were employed as the firm expanded, comma. Hence, more money was spent on administrative expenses. Full stop. Bureaucratic structures. Bureaucratic, B-U-R-E-A-U-C-R-A-T-I-C. Bureaucratic structures were formed and led to problems of control and flow of communication. Full stop. Because of the size, comma, the firm was unable to adapt to changes, comma, especially those related to technology. Full stop. The large firm lost touch with its customers. Full stop. Direct feedback was not always possible, and hence more money was spent on public relations and promotions, comma, which increased the overall cost of doing business. Waste from the large firm became greater, comma, and not being disposed of properly, comma. It caused pollution and damage to the environment. Skip 2 lines. Factors of diseconomies of scale are. Factors of diseconomies of scale are. Next line, first point. Managerial costs increase with the introduction of specialist staff, full stop. Next line, next point. There was a breakdown of communication between management and staff. Next line, next point. Industrial grievances were not handled quickly, which led to industrial action. Next line, next point. Additional expenses were incurred to recruit a marketing firm. Next line, next point. Product quality declined. Next line, next point. Decreasing profit led to cutback on budgets for community projects. Next line, next point. Pollution of the environment resulted. Skip a line. Advantages of small-scale production. Advantages of small-scale production. Next line, first point. Providing more personalized service. Next line, next point. Flexible opening and closing hours. Next line, next point. Self-employment, which offers personal satisfaction. Next line, next point. More personal contact with customers. Next line, next point. Located in small villages and communities that are not serviced by large businesses. Skip a line. Disadvantages of small-scale production. Next line, first point. Owners and managers may not have all the skills necessary to run a business. Next line, next point. There is limited leisure time for the owners because of long working hours. Next line, next point. Limited funding hinders growth. Okay, so we will stop there with the note for today. We just have one very small part of the note to take. That will be probably about 5 to 10 minutes, hopefully. And we might go through some pointers as well pertaining to the topic of production. I want to remind students that for all note tutorial, that you can pause the video at any time, you can rewind it, etc. And make sure that you get the proper note. Okay? And always use your note in answering questions. Okay, so I will be here to give you some more notes, hopefully, within the next week or even sooner. So have a great day.